it's your favorite front desk girl here, and today I want to talk to you about the wonderful world of no-show reservations. Now, disclaimer before we get started, I have only ever worked in American hotels, so my knowledge and my experience is based on American hotel policy, and it may be different in other countries outside of the US, okay? Okay, now what is a no-show reservation? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a reservation that the person didn't show up for. No show. Now, it sounds simple, but like a lot of things in the hospitality industry, it can get complicated really fast. No-show reservations are seen as canceled reservations, and usually the cancellation policy will apply to that no-show. This policy can vary from hotel to hotel, but usually the cancellation fee is one night's room and tax. And if the reservation was just for one night, then that's it. That's all she wrote for that reservation. If the reservation was multiple nights, then what usually happens is the one night's room and tax fee is applied, and then the rest of the nights are considered canceled. So if the guest shows up the next day, there is going to be a lot of processes that are going to have to happen to reinstate that reservation. And again, depending on the hotel's policy, that fee for the one night that they missed might still apply. Now, if an emergency has happened or something has gone wrong and you end up with a no-show reservation as the guest, don't panic too hard, because 9 times out of 10, there is a way for the hotel to fix it. For some hotels, it's as easy as just hitting a reinstate button and the reservation's back and you're all good to go. You check into your room and you can enjoy the rest of your stay at the hotel as normal. But on the hotel side, this can get complicated, and there were a couple hotels I worked at where they simply told me to just not even touch the no-show reservation. If a guest showed up after the audit was ran and the reservation had gone to no-show, they told me just to make a new reservation, transfer the fee over there, and to not even touch the other one, because the no-show reservation has basically become its own entity within the system. It's weird, it's complicated. I would just encourage you, from my own experience, to try to do everything possible to avoid your reservation going into no-show status, which, as I mentioned before, happens usually after the audit is ran. Because if you've been watching my videos and if you know anything about the hospitality industry, the business day doesn't end until it is manually turned over. So even though the clock has struck midnight, let's say on the 1st, even though it's technically now the 2nd on calendar, in the hotel system, it's still the 1st of the month, and it usually isn't until the date is manually changed from the 1st to the 2nd that the reservation goes from waiting to be checked in to no-show. So if you discover that you are going to be arriving to your hotel late and you don't want your reservation to go into that no-show status, communicate with the hotel. It's usually that easy. Call the hotel, email them, hop on live chat. Just communicate that you are going to be arriving later than anticipated. And depending on the hotel's policy and what time you are projected to then arrive, the hotel might just go ahead and check the reservation in because you have said you're going to be arriving, or the auditor or whoever is working the desk and is in charge of manually turning the day over might just wait until you get there, and then after you're checked in, then they will change the date over. But again, please try to check this policy and research it before you've even booked your hotel, because some hotels, especially small boutique hotels, might not have overnight staff. Everything might be automated, and I know of some hotels where if you don't check in within the hours that they tell you that they're available for you to check in, you're out of luck. And that's on you. So again, please be mindful of where you're booking and what your travel plans look like. But also, travel days can be unpredictable. Flights can get delayed. Cars or buses can break down. There's all sorts of things that could happen. And again, I would encourage you to keep in contact with the hotel. Or at the very least, if you think that there's even a chance you could be arriving really late into the night, I would say anywhere after 10 or 11 p.m., let the hotel know. Call them, email them, hop on live chat, whatever, and just say, hey, we may be arriving late. And even if things do work out, let's say that you're able to get on a different flight or the car issues get fixed and you do arrive at the hotel way earlier than you anticipated, the hotel's not gonna get mad. The front desk agent isn't gonna say, well, you said you'd be arriving here at 2 a.m. and now you're here early, so no, you have to wait till 2. No, as long as you are coming after guaranteed check-in time, the hotel should have no issue checking you in. But sometimes there are situations where you don't even plan to show up to your reservation that night. Instead, you do plan to get there super early in the morning. Let's say that you know you're going to be arriving at your destination very early, long before the hotel's regular check-in time, but you know you're going to want a room to stay in. Then what you can do is you can book for the night before and then get to your hotel and be able to get into your room very early. Obviously, there is extra cost involved because you've now paid for a night that you didn't stay in the room, but as long as you communicate with the front desk efficiently, you can arrive very early and then be able to enjoy your room while everyone else that flew in with you has to now wait several hours until they can check into their reservation that they booked for that day. But again, please communicate that this is your intention, because remember, when a reservation becomes a no-show, it's considered canceled. And if you haven't communicated with the hotel what you're planning to do, then what could happen is that you have let your reservation be canceled, and several hours could have passed from when the reservation was considered canceled to when you showed up. And what if in that time there was another reservation booked and now the hotel sold out and you didn't show up for your reservation, so it was canceled, and now you got to your destination and you have no room. It sounds extreme, but these things have happened. So again, please communicate with the hotel, and also please keep a record of that communication. Either save the email chain or take screenshots of the live chat, or ask the front desk agent who you have told about this plan to make sure they have written it down in the hotel's notes, and even better, send you email confirmation, because my parents did that once where they knew that they were going to be arriving very early, so they booked a hotel for the night before, but then when they got there in the morning, the front desk staff was like, oh, we didn't know that you were going to be arriving. We thought you were a no-show. And thankfully, my parents actually had the conversation log saying, we told you the plan and you said, okay, no problem. And then the front desk staff was like, oh, and they were able to fix the issue, but it was kind of tense for a second there. But to sum up what I'm trying to say in this video, you don't need to be scared of no-show reservations, but I do encourage you as the guest to avoid them when possible. Truly, I would say that 9 times out of 10, if you show up for your reservation after it's gone to no-show, it can be fixed. But if you keep up communication with the hotel and work together with its staff, you can maybe avoid an extra 15 to 30 minutes standing around the desk while they get that no-show reservation fixed. Oh, and you also might avoid some headaches when it comes to the payment charges, because when your reservation goes into no-show, the room night and tax generally gets charged to your card, but then whenever the reservation is reinstated, it might look like an extra charge has gone to your card because they now need to transfer the payment that you've already had applied over to the new reservation and now they're having to hold extra. It can just look very complicated and make your credit card or debit card statement look like a mess. So again, where possible, avoid no-shows. I actually really probably should make a video on why you should use credit cards instead of debit cards at least American hotels, but that's for another day. Thank you so much for watching. If you're wondering who the heck I am, my name is Jessica Vanell. I have 7+ years hotel experience. I have a degree in hospitality management, and I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. If you want access to a private Discord, all these videos early, and funny little behind the scenes and bloopers and other things, I do have a Patreon. So if you're interested, please go check it out. But that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Bye.